Hello, hello, hello. Sam Tobit, Sound of Joy Music Services. I am getting things straight here. As I say, I don't have a set time for when I want to do come on live, but I wanted to get this as I was posting a lot of different videos throughout the month. Those were sort of all of my mini concerts. So I felt to come online and engage with the viewers who watch my channel regularly and take requests. I have two requests that came in from one of my viewers. They asked for Jennifer Hudson's Amazing Grace, which I'm not familiar with, but I am familiar with the song Amazing Grace, and Total Praise. And so, since this is for the viewers, as we are winding down, certainly not putting an end to, but winding down the um, Black History Month 2022, rather than me just playing a bunch of songs, let me see what my viewers, those who have been supporting me all these years since 2008, would like to hear me play. And if it's something that I don't know, I may just do a live session where I'll go find it on YouTube and then uh, do a quick breakdown. Again, anything for the viewers. So we only have, I believe, one watching right now. So I'm sharing my page with other sites just to let them know that I am available right now for them to come in and see what I'm doing. If you want to come to my page and put in your request, you'll have to come to YouTube and search for my channel, which is called Sound of Joy, all one word, and you'll be on my live stream also. And you can put in your request if it hasn't been played already. Yes, I do know I may interfere with some of the copyrights that are out there, which is okay. I won't. I'll take the hit that come with it as long as I don't monetize what I'm doing right now. There should be no problem. They'll just say that, hey, you've played a song that is in copyright. Total Praise is one of those songs, but I've done it enough times where I don't think I will offend anyone by playing it one more time. Maybe not the entirety of the song in its original length, but just so that my viewer can hear it played for them. So what I'm going to do is to let a one of the opening history of black music in the black church videos that I've put together. Not a video, but talk music and some words as we get ready to get into what we're going to be doing. So let's go to that right now. Well, all right, all right, all right. We got a brief summary of the history of music in the Black Gospel Church. And for those that are still watching, I'm getting practice in doing my own narration and putting some music behind it. Again, branching out, not just becoming, as they say, one-sided in what I do. I like to think that as I've been told in my past, I have a very musical voice in the mid to bass range. Gives me a chance to practice on that. So we're going to do our first request. Can't quite pronounce your name correctly. It's like Naquin P08. We'll as I say, I'm not familiar with the Jennifer Hudson version of Amazing Grace, but I'll give you my version of Amazing Grace, and then we'll switch over to Total Praise for any copyrights that I offend. This is not I am not doing this to infringe on anyone's copyright, but I do understand that you will be monitoring me. All right. I want to put that out there. This is not to infringe on someone's music, just to honor a request by one of my YouTube viewers who helps supports my channel. All right, let's switch over to our mode. And since I'm not going to be singing, you won't have to worry about hearing my voice. All right. Who's joined? I'm always trying to make sure I don't miss anyone, so I'm just monitoring who may have joined us. What was, you might say, three versions of Amazing Grace: traditional, a little bit of gospel, and then one a little bit contemporary on the last one as I changed keys. Again, I always try to uh, go with the theory that you always want to honor the original song creation before you begin to add your own secret sauce to it. So I have a habit of just following that metaphor. Going to do total praise. And I just, again, I'm monitoring those. I have two channels watching me. My Facebook channel, this is being streamed to, and they've been invited to come over and bring in their request. And I'm also monitoring those that are here on the YouTube channel. All right, as I say, I'm not trying to offend the copyright holders of Total Praise, so I'm going to do the verse and the chorus one time. This way I don't infringe that much on it. So let's go to Total Praise. All right. Yes, I do expect to get a copyright, not a strike, but a notice. But that's okay. Again, this is viewer request. Welcome, Janice. I see you caught one of my lives. This is my viewer's request. So if you have a request you would like to hear me play, this is the time that you get an opportunity to request that. Again, I am well aware that I may infringe on some copyrights out there. I will take the hits. It's okay. Because gospel music, really, I mean, I understand that everyone wants to get compensated for their work, and I have no issue with that. I have copyrighted songs, which I have actually out there in this marvelous space of electronics that I love to hear someone else play, and then someone look out for me in a sense. But because I'm aware of it, and this site has been around since 2008, when I posted a lot of songs that were in that domain when the copyright holders weren't chasing down musicians and singers. So they if they don't know me after being here since 2008, there's going to be a problem. Holy One, welcome, Gemini. Holy One, is that the Tremaine Hawkins, Holy One? If it is, that's been a while since I've played that. I got to run that through my mind. I believe it's in the key of G flat, if I remember. I'm always trying to make a teaching moment. Just trying to remember how that one started. Let's see how my memory is. Holy One. wow. Uh, took a while because their songs back then. There are two songs that had that same chord phrasing, so I had to find my way around without having the lyrics in front of me, without having the melody in my head, but the chording there. And the minute I heard that first change, I go, "Oh, that's right. It started here. This is where the song started." Songs that we don't hear anymore. This is one of the things that I really stress about the history that black music has in the church. There were so many songs that came out during the 70s and the 80s that we don't hear anymore that were rich with chords. Yes, some of the songs kind of morphed together, but again, I had to begin to hear that song in my head without going to a YouTube video. If I'd went to the YouTube video first, which I thought I would do, but I wanted to see if I can remember this one, I would have immediately heard the first chord changes and the melody and would have snapped back into my head. I knew the key was in the G flat range because there were several songs they wrote in G flat that I learned and gave me a comfort level of playing in the key of G flat. So hopefully I did the song justice for you. Um, don't think we have anyone else that's in here outside of the three that I see. So what I will do is to interject perhaps a song from that you may want me to attempt. Again, if it's one that I don't know, I will let you know that I don't know it. I don't want to go searching through YouTube while I have a live session going on, although I could if there were enough requests for it. But let me just make sure I have not left anyone out. I'm checking two screens to make sure that I'm not missing anyone. In fact, I need to. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. As I said, I tried to learn a song exactly like the album. So I'm going to go back to that Love Alive and let's touch on Be Grateful. In fact, I think Grateful was done in that same key in G flat, although I always moved it up to A flat. But I'll move it to A flat. Be Grateful, which was, again, one of those iconic songs from that era. Just changing my Chordy app because I'm always in a teaching moment, so I'm letting you see some of the chords, and you can see me struggling to hear it correctly. So Be Grateful, um, which again, when I learned this album, so many great chords that I picked up. So Be Grateful, for those who don't know it, I don't know if Tremaine did the lead on this one also. And now that I'm saying it through my head, I got to remember how it goes. Here we go. Be Grateful. Okay. Thought I messed up that last chord. That was one of those iconic songs um, that were attempted by some church choirs, not all, because it took the music of your church in a gospel contemporary phase. And if the musician was not ear trained, because there were no sheet music back then, I know a lot of the songs that came out then. I spent more time listening to the album, moving it back and forth, trying to hear every chord, and of course, what the vocals were doing. That it helped to morph and to train my ear how to break apart parts in a song. Looking to see who else may have joined us. Again, this is our viewer requests video for our Black History Month. This may be my next to last presentation for this mode. I may do another one tomorrow, allowing more people in. As I say, sometimes when I go live, I don't know I'm going to go live until I decide to go live. I even have a secondary keyboard set up behind me because I was going to do something else. And then I chose not to. I said, let me ask the viewers what would they want to hear, because I have so many from so many different parts of the world who come in and 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 view some of the YouTube content that I have created. I don't see any other requests as I am monitoring on two different pages. So let's see if I can pick something from the 80s. What I'm going to do is, while I've got you on there, do a gospel music search in Google. Just to see which were the songs that were prevalent.
Harvest.com has scoured the earth to find.
That's not what I wanted to do. I don't want the. Here we go. I just want a link. Let's see. Because I covered the 70s. Of course, I didn't do any of. I reckon I should do that. Andre Crouch. Because I loved any songs I had to learn from him from the 70s. Jesus is Lord, Jesus is the answer for the world today. 1973, yes. Jesus is the answer. That is one of the songs I had to, not I had to, but I was appointed to play. Jesus is the answer for the world today. Above him, there's no other. Jesus is the way. I'm trying to remember the verse. Hearing the song in my head, not sure what key it's in, but I will share what I do remember. Jesus is the answer for the world today. Kind of hear the key of F. So my ear is telling me, but it may be A flat also, because Andre Crouch did go into both of those keys. I just left A flat, so let's take it down to F, just changing my chording. Jesus is the answer. hard to begin to touch on some Andre Crouch songs and not begin to fall into that theme of music that he would write. Very basic, but also telling. Welcome, and I certainly cannot pronounce your name, but Center of My Joy. Yes, Richard Smallwood is one of my, if you want to call, master teacher in the sound of gospel music. I learned the classical style of gospel music, learning the Richard Smallwood songs. So yes, Center of My Joy is a Sam favorite. Now I've changed the key on that song, but I know it's originally written in the key of E flat, which is not a problem because I learned every song in the original key of the songwriter and tried my best to sound like the original. Throw in my secret sauce every now and then, but always try to stay within the original. So we're going to go to Center of My Joy, a viewer request. You catch me off guard when I haven't played a song like the album in so long to remember those changes. Welcome, Josh Love. Do you know It's a Highway to Heaven? Oh my goodness, that is a classic gospel song. Now, there are many versions of it. Um, I would have to do the version. This is for Josh Love. Thank you for coming in. Do the version that I'm familiar with. which is kind of from a Pentecostal style. Pentecostal style. Let's see if I can give you some more instrumentation. Let's go bring up a jazz pattern to the style that which I'm familiar with. So give me a chance to get that set up for you. I'll let you watch me getting that mode up. It's a highway or highway to heaven. Now again, there's so many other versions, so I'm going to give you the version that I am familiar with. All right. I hope that is the version. Well, yes, John. Unfortunately, we are not as us as baby boomers don't get to hear those songs. You'd be surprised. I had a whole listing of songs I was going to do, and Highway to Heaven was on there. On that list, I have He Never Failed Me Yet, Let God Arise, If You Call on Jesus, He Will Answer Prayer, My soul loves Jesus. The windows of heaven are open, running for my life. Jesus is real to me. When I think of the goodness of Jesus, I have a whole page. And you can see that. Back to back on all sides of songs we don't hear anymore as baby boomers and probably some late or early Generation Xers because of the style of music. So thank you for requesting that and giving me a chance to. Didn't have my instruments set up correctly because they can be overbearing at times, but gave me a chance to share that song with you. As I say, this is viewer request. If I can do it, I certainly will, because you have been supporting me, not just this year, but in the past few years. So if you have another one from back during that time, just let me know. I've got no problem going to go get it. Let's see who else has come in to visit with us. Let me just verify that I am checking my other pages to make sure that I'm still being streaming on my Facebook page. Let's stay in the, well, we'll go back. We'll go into those, since Josh has brought us into the, what I call the favorite praise and testimony songs. Let's go to, let me see. What would bring down, oh, I've got a feeling everything's going to be all right. I've done that on my channel. But I can go there. I've got a feeling everything's going to be all right. Be all right. Be all right. Be all right. I did that in the key of E flat, just changing over my Chordy app. So we'll give you that one. I've got a feeling everything is going to be all right. Give me a chance to set up my bass note and my drum so that it's not overbearing. Let's switch over the scene. All right. Sunday night testimony service speed, where you, as a musician, you just kept up with what the people wanted. Viewer request. This is my viewer request live stream. And if you don't request anything, if you put me in a certain mode, I'll pull out a song from that era of music. So we're sort of in the testimony phase of the type of songs that they would sing in Sunday morning, or sometimes Sunday night or Sunday morning testimony service. The type of songs that in the black church would be a commonplace. Yes, I understand we're now in the praise and worship down through the. No, that was I've Got a Feeling, Nathan. Everything is going to be all right. A lot of the songs from that era of music in the black church had the same quoting, but the words were interchangeable. Like you could interchange, if you call on Jesus in the morning when I rise, I made a vow to the Lord, I'm a soldier, all followed that same quoting. Jazz, for those who want to say, oh, that's the gospel sound. The gospel music, if you heard my opening monologue, was derived from jazz musicians who took songs which were in a hymnal or scriptural format and put jazz tunes to it. So if you know the 1, 4, 5, 6, for those who follow the number system, if you know that sequence, it's just where you place the chord. It's kind of like the songs today. If you know what number to put with the song today, not quite that fast, you'll be able to. Anybody could sing within that chord structure. Of course, there were some songs that were more melody. More melody dominant. But those type of songs were like, call and response, or just overall, just the congregation, whoever was singing it, just singing to the best of their spirits. So let's go away from that. And again, if you have a request, Nathan, you can, or is that your request down through the years? Down through the years, the Lord's been good to me. Was that one on my list? Let me see what that's on my list. There were so many. Lord, I just want to thank you all the days of my life. Is that the one? Okay. Let's stay in the same, with my band. I just got to change the tempo speed. Let's get the band back up. Just trying to pitch the correct key in my head, because there's so many keys. Again, it depends upon whoever started singing the song. Let's see if we can get this right. I don't want to stay in E flat. Tell you what, let me do this. I'm always in a teaching mode, so we'll level it out to here. So whatever key I pick, the notes will be appropriate. I'm hearing F, but could be G. I'm going to speed that up a bit. Lord, I just want to thank you, thank you. I want to thank you for being so good to me. You know what? I may not have heard that lyric version. Was that the correct one that I did, though? The version I know is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you every day of my life. Again, I did not learn every song. Did not learn every song. Right on, King Jesus, for Black History, please. I know I did do a video of that, but again, this is viewer request, so I have no problem going back and doing Right on, King Jesus again. Let me just change my key. The Kojic version? Yes, this is, well, no, that I don't know the Kojic version. I know the version that I've been, I'm not doing the spiritual version. The spiritual version is, has the long white robe and all that good stuff in it. But I do the version out of the African American Heritage Hymnal, which is sort of a, well, you'll hear it. It's actually on my site already, but this is viewer request live. So we'll give you that version. That's in the African American Heritage Hymnal. Not a problem, Nathan. This is viewer request live. So I'm not sure if I did the Kojic version. That is the version that I've played from the African American Heritage Hymnal. And no, don't feel bad about all the request. If it's a song I don't know, then I will give you the version that I do know. And again, I'm not limiting it to Black history, but opening it up to music. And yes, I am doing some people's copyrighted music, but that's okay. This is for my viewers, though. That's those that support me here on YouTube. I don't get to do this a lot, so I'm taking this period of time here in Black History Month 2022 to converse and to let the viewers uh, give me their request. Just checking on my other pages where I'm streaming to see if I'm getting okay. We're good there. No, I was just saying the Kojic version for Lord, I just want to thank you. 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 If I'm hearing it correctly, it just runs on. I've already done You're the Center of My Joy. You may have come in past that. One of my viewers from Japan asked for Center of My Joy. Some of those testimony songs were homegrown in that they were only sung in that church. So if I didn't hear that in New York City back in the 70s through the 90s, that version never made it up until they switched over and went to the early facets of praise and worship. Let me go back and see what other songs from the 80s were commonplace. Let's see. I did the Andre Crouch. We're not going to go back into there because there's so many songs that are by him. Milton Brunson, Available to You. I already have that on my site, so I may touch on it, but that's another iconic song, Lord, I'm Available to You. And I'm just looking at songs from the 80s. Which were notable. Not every song, struck a chord with everyone. Again, Andre Crouch wrote so many songs that were not staples in a church. I Don't Know Why is, again, another staple song. So, since you made a viewer request, the Doxology, Praise God, in E flat for a closing service. Can I do this? I'm going to bring up my Hammond organ software. If we're going to do a doxology for a closing service, we need a Hammond organ. It's only right. So I'm bringing the software up now. Alrighty. And let's see, where did I have that stored at? Is that here? That's the Timothy Wright songs. I just needed to see where it was. Doxology for closing service in E flat. We're going to use the Hammond organ. Give me a chance to set it up. Just making my adjustments. For those of my viewers who are not familiar with how the black church music went for a time it was the organ player who controlled a lot of the service because no one wanted to touch the piano. I was a pianist for my first 9 years as a church musician, but being skilled on the Hammond organ always. But there's only one seat on the Hammond organ, and you never try to outplay a system that has 300 watts coming out of it. But it did not mean that I was not comfortable playing an organ. Okay, let's bring up the organ mode. All right, so I kept it in the organ mode for I don't know why. Again, these are the, make sure I got this right. These are the songs that we don't, those of us that remember what these songs meant to the listener, the actual congregation, and to the person off the street, and those around the world who did purchase the albums and listen to the radio. Songs that we do not hear anymore, and call me a hermit, a a collector of songs from my past that I refuse to put down. I just make room for the other new songs that are coming out, but these songs that were relative to my upbringing as a church musician in the black church, I don't put them down. I just place them in their proper place, and when called upon, I just go pull them out, if though I was playing them yesterday from learning them on the album. So thank you, Nathan. Again, you always can have some more requests if you want. Just want to check and see how we're doing, where we are streaming to the Facebook page. I don't see any comments there. Let me refresh that page on Facebook, see if there are any viewer comments there. Didn't want to leave anybody out. I see no comments there, so we'll stay with my audience. Oh, it is Jesus. Yes, that is another classic and a viewer request. Trying to remember if there was a verse in that song. Don't know if there was a verse. If there was, we didn't learn it. Oh, it is Jesus. Oh, it is, yes, it is Jesus. It's Jesus in my soul, for I have touched the hem of his garment, and his blood has made me whole. And yes, there was a verse. As soon as I started playing it, I could hear the verse in my head, so I had to play the verse. I mean, I had the first note correct, but then I began to hear the lead singing the lead part and following with the correct chords. Now, this is that part of the early church musician in the gospel phase. We didn't have sheet music for these songs. All we had was a recording, be it on a album, vinyl album, or a cassette tape, or in some cases an 8-track tape. I was back in the 8-track tape era where you could record songs onto an 8-track player and put those. You carried those in your car, and you would try to mimic the chording that you heard being played. So, being that it didn't follow the format of a hymn, didn't follow the format of an early gospel song, it was more of a contemporary gospel feel. And if you followed the songwriters, you found out that all of their songs had a certain pattern to them. Now, Andre Crouch songs could take you almost anywhere depending upon what song you were doing. But a lot of the songwriters, they began to follow a pattern, and then you just applied those notes that they didn't use on their previous song, but they used on this one, and then you just supported vocalists or if there was a lead singer. So when I began to play the song, I began to hear the verse part. I said, you know what, this is how the verse part went. Here's the chording that supported the verse. So thank you, Nathan, for adding to this viewer request live stream. As I said, if I'm offending any copyrights for those who will be viewing this and they send out the YouTube copyright police, note that I am not stealing someone's song. I am helping to grow this YouTube space by providing a service to the viewers who come and let the advertisers view what I have on my channel. That's my disclaimer. We're not stealing, we're sharing. All right. Are there any others from those that are here? Nathan has been the stream leader now in request. I'm just reviewing back to see who is here. Let me just welcome those who have come in. We've been streaming now an hour and a half. I had expected to do 35 to 45 minutes based upon participation, but you know how that goes. I've never wanted to leave an audience without a request being fulfilled. I'm going to share another. Oh, would you mind putting one more flashlight on your keyboard, please? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were watching the keyboard. I was trying to set an atmosphere. Not a problem, though. I have a whole bank of lights. Let me just show you the whole bank of lights. How does that look? That's the whole bank of lights. And I even got more. To sort of even it out some. As I say, I am conscious to what our viewer wants. Let me try and switch the white balance on this camera up here and let it just switch over. There we go. As you say, I know all the tricks here in my studio to let the lighting have its way. So that is the full view. This is when I do my videos. This is the setting that I use. But when I try to set a scene, then I will put on the full lighting. I am not familiar, Nathan, with Shirley Caesar's His Blood Can Restore. Again, I did not learn every gospel song out there. Shirley Caesar, I'll say yes. Oh, I didn't know that. Glad you made me aware of that. Then I'll know when I'm doing this to have this amount of lighting on, so that you can get a better view. I give you the and this is to my friend in Japan. I cannot pronounce your name. When I let me just change this so you can see me. When I do my lives with the Cordy app, I allow people to see the Cordy app chords first because they name them out. Let me turn off too many lights in here now. There we go. Trying to keep a scene. There we go. I always leave. I let the Cordy app name out the notes and the chords easier than you can watching my fingers move across the keyboard. I follow the format of, if you know how to play the scales correctly, then you know how to form your fingers over chords. So when I play a chord that is 5 fingers, and you can see on a Cordy app how many notes I'm actually playing. On the keyboard, you may miss it, but the Cordy app will actually show you the thumb is covering 2 notes and the other fingers are filling out the other chords. Sometimes I play at a speed that is at the speed of thought. If I think of a chord, I'll play it before I get there, and then the next chord is coming up right away. Sometimes I catch it correctly, sometimes I don't, but I know the next chord is coming. So that's kind of hard for even the Cordy app to keep up with that. But when it's a lesson, I purposely slow down. But it's nice to know that you do watch what I'm doing, so I will keep that in mind. Thank you. Shirley Caesar, I'll say yes, Nathan. Shirley Caesar, I'll say yes. Well, thank you. That is what I am trying to do, is to share everything I know. I have nothing to hide. And if I don't know something, if I can't go learn it, I will send you to someone else who does. So that's Shirley Caesar. His blood can restore. I'm not familiar with that one. I don't want to mess that up trying that. Shirley Caesar, I'll say yes. To your will and to your way, I'll say yes, Lord. Nope, that's yes, Lord, yes. Nope. Shirley Caesar, I wasn't. Because you had to have a specific gospel voice to sing her songs. If we didn't have that voice, we didn't learn that song. I'm trying to think what could have been one of the other Shirley Caesar songs that I might. Oh, that one. I'll say yes, Lord, yes to your will and to your way. When your spirit speaks to me, with my whole heart, I'll agree. And my answer will be yes, Lord, yes. I am familiar with that one. Key of G. I've been in G already. Let's put it in G flat. That is a good key. And let's adjust our lighting again. Let's fake out the camera with our white balance. Beautiful. I'll say yes, Lord, yes. Alrighty. Again, these songs had messages within them, within a melody. And I believe that's what music is when it's of a religious nature. It's a message with a melody, which makes it a lot easier to remember. A lot of these songs today that I'm hearing, and again, I will always get on my platform every now and then to respond to today's music. If you don't know the lyrics and they just played the chords, you wouldn't know what song that you had to sing because they're all chord based, and you'd have to wait till somebody starts either flashing the words up on the screen or start singing. The Lord is blessing me right now, right now. The Lord is blessing me right now, right now. He woke me up this morning, started me on my way. This is the choir version. The Lord is blessing me right now, all right now. What key was that song in? Could have been a C, could be D flat. Again, this is viewer request. So let's see what I can. Don't mind me, I was just changing the scene so you don't have to see me doing all the work I do. Let's see, the Lord is blessing me right now. Do I want to do the band? Yeah, let's do the band. See if I can get the band going on that one. Because it's Pentecostal in nature. Let's see. C. Nope. That'll be A flat. And then it goes into a lot of other stuff which I haven't done before. And we're back. B flat? Okay, possibly. A flat made it easier for the sopranos. Sometimes you got some of these songs, they've got the sopranos screaming. So I would purposely lower the song by a full step so the sopranos wouldn't be blown out by the second song. Well, this has been fun. I'm coming across it. I'm coming up on 2 hours doing this. I may do another one of these on tomorrow. I will see. I like this format where I'm allowing the viewers to come in and make their requests for songs. I hope I've represented those songs which I did play correctly. They were recognizable by you. As I say, as a church musician, sometimes you would be called out to do a song and you don't have time to practice it. So what you saw is how I would respond, trying to remember what key the song was in, knowing that if it's a group singing or a choir, or not a group, but a choir or a soloist, they don't normally know their key. They just start singing, and then you have to rely on how much practicing you've done as a musician in playing scales, number one, basic chords, number two, and then all the diminished, when I say diminished, minor sixes, which is what you've heard me playing there, and all the other intricate jazz connotation chords to sort of color it up a little bit or flavor it musically to add to the song so that a fair representation can be done. Thank you from our viewer from Japan. I'm sorry I cannot pronounce your name, but it's nice to know that you have been watching my site. I will be well aware now that if I'm going to be showing my keyboard in the dark, that I've got to turn the lights on so that you can get a better representation of what I'm doing on the keyboard. I just learned something. I can still be taught. Can I play As the Deer in F? Josiah, I will leave you on that song, As the Deer. That is, again, another favorite song of mine. Again, one of the early praise songs. And when the praise and worship songs began to morph into your testimony services, the early songs were favorable to the hymnal structure, but these latter day songs, I still have questions about. But As the Deer in the key of F, not a problem. Let me just go, as they say, go to scene right. Ben, it has been my pleasure to be of service to my YouTube viewers. And as I say, I may try and come back. Maybe not today, but maybe before the end of the month. So we're looking at tomorrow, and I think it was the 26th. You have 2 more days left in the month of February. So that's what, a Monday night? I may see. I may do something like this on a Monday night for those who did not get a chance to come in live. So let's say I will commit myself to a Monday evening USA time. I may pick earlier. Oh, welcome, Whale, WAE, if I cannot pronounce it correctly, because I realize so many of you in different time zones. I still love this gospelized a melody. Yes, I learned the song originally and then began to incorporate many of the chords that I've learned in my past to sort of bring this song out. I usually do it in the key of E flat. So when I got there into F, I lost the melody at the very top because I wasn't used to going to I wasn't used to going to the, I believe it was the D. I'm used to going to the C. So when I hit the D, I said, wait a minute. No, when I hit the, I'm used to going to the C. When I hit the D note, I went to the C. When I went to the D in F, okay, I lost it. It's higher notes, so I had to go back and redo it again. And as you see, as a musician, when you hear a mistake, you don't continually make it. You make it sound like you meant to do that. But then when I went back, each time I played it, I made sure I went to the D. That you alone, it made sure I went to the D. And then I make sure I cleaned it up, you might say. And you're allowed to do that when you're a musician because every note is a good note. Like a singer, sometimes they may hit an off note, but they'll work around it. They'll go up, they'll go back, just to find that correct note correctly. Gospel music allows us, like the jazz musicians, it's never a bad note when a jazz musician is playing. Even when I watch the videos, I go, yeah, he didn't mean to hit that note, but unless you were listening for it, you wouldn't know that he missed a note. It makes for the song. A little bit of salt, less pepper, something to sort of, as they say, to the listener, it was a great sound. Sounded good. Sounded on purpose. Again, thank you all for coming and sharing with me here in my first viewers request live session. I will have more of these as I'm looking to build my live podcast setting. Again, I have to see what hours are good for you. I am retired, so if I came on at 3 a.m. in the morning, I don't know who might be on with me at 3 a.m. in the morning, but I may just test it out just to see. Thank you all for coming in and sharing. Share this stream with those that you know. There may be some songs I played that may stir the hearts and memories of those who remember that song. Oh, you're welcome. I should have posted again. If you're in the site, just make yourself type in your name so I know that you're here. Don't want to leave anybody out. Going back in my stream, Not Quinn P08, thank you. Janice Fields, that's one of my Skype students. Thank you for coming in. Jamir, I'll just say Robinson, thank you for coming in. My dear friend from Japan, thank you for coming in. Josh Love, always a pleasure. Nathan Nelson, you filled up the stream with your requests and a lot of good songs from the Andre Crouch years. Who else do we have? Just looking at those who have come in and have participated in the chat room. Josiah, thank you for coming in. Whale, you just came in late, or maybe you've been in the background. It's okay. And DB Moshua, thank you for coming in. Perhaps when I do the next one, because I'm gonna take a break. It's 2 hours now. I'm gonna take a break. Perhaps you can come in and request any songs that I might possibly know. Oh, we've got another gentleman. I cannot pronounce your name, from Brooklyn. I won't even try to pronounce it. Thank you for coming in and sharing with us. You're going to make me stay a little longer, I think. I've got currently 9 viewers. I haven't had 9 viewers in here ever. So you may make me stay a little bit longer just to fulfill the request of those who are viewing. So, Mashua, since you're just coming in, do you have a request? Hopefully, something that I would know that you'd want to hear. Again, we're celebrating Black History Month. So, and I try to keep the music around the church environment because that's where my 99% of the songs I play are from the church environment. But sometimes, if it's a melody of a song that I know, they borrow the same chords. That is the one thing about music, depending upon what the song is, they're using the same chords, they just omit some notes. I had said that As to Dear would be the last selection, but we've had 3 people come in since then, and I want to make sure everybody leaves hearing a number or a request. So if there's a request, type it in so that I can answer that. Oh yeah, I did Total Praise already. I'm sorry. You can see the review. Total Praise was one of the second song that I did. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Is that the Timothy Wright version? Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. That's the only one that I know of. All hail the power of All hail the power of you with me. Oh, Mr. D Flat, welcome. Can you play All Hail the Power of You with Me? That does maybe a selection that I did not have, that I have not run across. All hail the power with you and me. That does not ring a bell. But let me touch on Jesus, 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 and maybe I'll do a quick search on YouTube for the All Hail the Power of You and Me. You made a video ago, I believe. Yes, I did do one for Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Let me, as they say, change my scene. Oh, hail the power of Jesus' name. Oh, okay. Yes, I am very familiar with that one. Let me change my scene. Alrighty. Think I'm gonna have to call this a close now. I've got a visitor at my front door, the wife trying to get in because she didn't take a key out. Let me let you go with this last piece. Thank you for coming in and watch this piece.